The Great Reset is a topic that I would have liked to have spoken about many times, and I should have done that way before. But I was a little bit scared. Scared because I know that certain, YouTubers or algorithms don't really appreciate the topic, so I decided to not share my view. But now that I can see that many others are sharing it, I thought, let's get into it and talk about owning nothing and being happy. It is without a doubt one of the most talked about topics when it comes to conspiracy theories. The Great Reset. And it seems to attract a lot of contradicting views from just about everyone and anyone. So considering that the Great Reset is aiming to change the economic future of our planet and the way that we spend and use our money, I thought it was about time that you and we should have a talk about this topic. Even though it's gonna be me doing the talking. So what is the Great Reset exactly? Over the last couple of years, the Great Reset has been called many things. Now some people, they believe that the slogan, "You will own nothing and be happy," means that we are going to be manipulated into an authoritarian world where our governments and the large companies will control everything. So on one end of the spectrum, it's being called a force for good. That it is an initiative to help make the world a greater, greener and fairer place for all of us to live, and to change the way that we approach capitalism. However, on the other side of the spectrum, there are people that believe that this is just a front of the elite or the people behind the curtain trying to take over the world. So what is the truth? Well, there's one philosophy that I like to follow, and that is, whenever there are extremes or very contradicting views about a single topic, and there is a different, or let's say a vast difference in the types of views around this topic, I like to follow it, and I tend to find that the truth is somewhere in the middle. So in this video, I'm going to admit I'm not actually going to talk much about the philosophy of the Great Reset, but I'm going to be talking about who is behind this and who might be truly benefiting from the narrative being sold to us about this potentially world-changing plan. So all I gotta say is, let's start following the money. I think there's one thing we can all agree on, and that is that the WEF, they have tremendous amount of power. I mean, just look at their ambassadors. They have celebrities such as Prince Charles, Leonardo DiCaprio, Bono. All of them are their spokespeople. And they seem to have a never-ending supply of money that is there in order to advertise their agendas. So the question is, where's this money and power all coming from? And this is perhaps where the issue lies with the WEF. Now, if we go in and look at Wikipedia and look at the WEF websites themselves, the World Economic Forum is primarily funded by its 1,000 member companies. You can find a list of these companies on their website, and the members are made up of just about every single massive company that you can think of. From Facebook to Goldman Sachs, Walmart, energy, pharmaceuticals, you name it, and you will find them. Obviously all owned by BlackRock and Vanguard. Anyway, so the WEF, they have paying members. And you know that generally when you are part of an organization or a private club, what is it that you get? Well, if you're part of let's say a golf club, right? These membership fees, they're there to help with the grounds, keeping the maintenance and the improvement of the golf course. The thing goes without saying that when we pay a membership fees, we expect to get something in return. You see, not only do we expect to get something in return, right? Your membership fees, they don't go towards a club doing something good and great for others, does it now? You see, so almost always membership fees go towards actions that benefit the club members. And in this case, the members of the WEF are some of the most powerful, most profitable companies in the entire world. Companies that you have definitely heard of. And I'm gonna mention a few that on the outside look so sweet, but actually have been under scrutiny. So look at Nestle, right? The pride of Switzerland. Now they have actually openly admitted to slavery in the supply chain, and they can give guarantees to customers that no slavery was used in order to make that delicious chocolate. Weapons manufacturers, right? Who have sold billions of arms around the world. including nations that, like Saudi Arabia, for example, who have used those weapons to kill thousands of innocent civilians in Yemen. Companies like Apple, who want you to believe that they are being environmentally friendly and they actually care about the planet because they recycle their materials in their products. However, yet at the same time, they have suppliers who have put nets on their buildings in order to stop employees jumping from the roof. Then, of course, we got the oil companies like Chevron, who have been accused of knowingly lying to the public many times. I think even more times than President Bush, about the damage that they are doing to our planet and for their many cases of human rights abuses. So these are just a few of the 1,000 companies that fund the WEF. As I said before, you can find the extensive list of all these companies on the WEF website. As I also said, that these members, some of the biggest companies in the world, most powerful, they seem only to care about profit. And I think we can agree about that, right? So that goes to say the companies are complicit in the destruction of our planet as long as they make a few extra bucks. It's always about shareholder value. And many companies, they see that, or let's say they view us, the people, as commodities rather than individual souls that deserve respect, have just the same amount of emotions as they have. Now, the WEF wants you to believe that the member money that is being paid to the WEF is not there to benefit the members directly, but more to help uplift our planet and ensure that the right great change is made for the planet. And yet again, remember, on their website they state that they take action that are independent, impartial, and not tied to any special interests. So now that we are aware of some of the companies that are funding the WEF, do we really believe that the actions are completely independent and impartial? I would look at the WEF as the world's largest economic PR campaign for the rich and wealthy. Subsequently, the little people just have to follow. So here we are, and the one thing that I believe everybody should keep in their mind is whenever you hear the message or a message coming from the WEF, that on the hand they tell us that they are impartial and that the group is designed in order to be independent and not tied to any specific agenda. However, in reality, though, it appears that the World Economic Forum is nothing than a lobbying organization funded by some of the most powerful companies on the entire planet. So whenever companies lobby governments or the public directly through special interest groups, it is more often than not that they are there to benefit themselves. Now, history has shown us that companies lobby to get laws written and passed that is going to assist these companies to do the business that they want to be doing, right? Simple, it is a handshake business. So they use PR in order to mold the public's image of themselves, make them look really handsome and lovely, while they are deflecting us and our view and attention from the really bad things that they are in reality doing. And they lobby so that they can create an environment for themselves that is going to help them do the one thing that they seem only to care about, which is to make more profit. So generally speaking, whenever there are large companies behind a public relations company, it is there for profit. And I think we can also all agree that the WEF seems to be nothing more than the biggest economic public relations campaign provider that the world has ever seen. Now again, I would really love to have faith in the intentions of the WEF, just like I had faith in Mother Teresa. But it seems that the WEF's actions are not there to just benefit and increase our society, but mainly and strictly to increase the profits of their own members. So basically, every other instance in human history has shown us that whenever there's a lot of money put in to selling a specific message to the overall public, it is not there to benefit Sister Shelly and Brother Jamal. It is there to benefit the one who is paying. So we are seeing greenwashing, I believe it's called. We see it when all companies destroy our environment for financial gain while making us believe that they care about the environment, right? And we've seen companies like Volkswagen that have lied through their teeth about their emissions to make more profit until the very last moment when they did get caught. And by the way, Volkswagen is a member of WE. So these companies, they say that they really want to do good for the planet, for the people and the companies that are trying to improve and do good. But these companies' actions, they seem to be showing something completely different. You see, these companies, they have history of lying in order to increase their profits, and these exact same companies, they are there to sponsor and fund the WEF. So it is a big club, and you know what? You and I, we are not a part of it. But I did call Klaus and say, how you doing? Can I come and join? Now, I would like to have faith in humanity. I like to believe that all humans are good. We are inherently good and that we want to help each other. I like to say sharing is caring. I can make money by still being a good person, but not everybody sees it like that. I would like to uplift my circle of people, including you, in case you want to subscribe. You see, money has never been the primary driver for me or everything that I do. But unfortunately, in reality, it seems that there are some people narcissistic with major greed behind everything or every action that they are doing. And this is unfortunately shaping the world that we live in today. In case you haven't watched my video, Who Owns the World, I would invite you to watch it. It's 5 minutes and you will see that basically all major corporations in the world are owned by the same few companies. But before we end, I always like to give my 2 cents on the dollar. And today, they are brief. Whether you like it or not, money currently rules the world, and it has for a long time. So it is important to really keep an eye out where the money is actually coming from and where the money is going. Because that's the only way that you will figure out what the true intentions are. My name is Nico Arachi, and I'm the host. Crypto Never Sleeps.